I need David. Let's see. Search.
Yay! All the tags are there. Cool.
Hopefully everyone can hear everything okay.
Once again, machine conquers man. Not sure how machine conquered man, but machine conquered man. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we are good.
Is that why you're saying everything looks blurry?
No, right now you're looking at this and it's adjusting for resolution right now. No, when we would usually stream, our faces would be really blurry because I zoomed the camera out. So that's why I'm doing it this way tonight. No, we're fine. It's just unfortunately our tablet is not running at optimal frames yet. So okay, but yeah, so I got this wonderful sword, and it technically is the strongest thing that I have, as long as I'm wielding it in this two-handed form. So thankfully, I also do have an answer to that, which is bringing out my saw blade again. But let's go ahead and get started, shall we? I think we've delayed things enough.
Welcome. What is it?
Okay, cool.
Farewell, good May.
Let's see. So we were doing Ibrietas, daughter of the cosmos. Was it Lumenflower Gardens?
I don't remember.
Is that where the celestial, what was it? Celestial emissary? Because everything is big worded.
That was the upper cathedral, but I could be wrong.
No, this is yeah, it technically is Upper Cathedral, but you're not wrong. Ew, leeches. Okay, so we should be getting back for people.
Ah! And there's our friends again.
Alright, cool. We got you dead.
Jeez. We're too young to die.
See, it is technically stronger than what we've usually wielded. So... And we have a strategy. That strategy is to hug Ebrietas' butt. And hopefully that'll work. Yeah, this is the way to Ebrietas. So. Oh no, and all the leeches. And we are not going to summon the guy because I have been told by a few people it does make the health of Ebrietas somewhat insane. So let's get some attempts in, shall we? Welcome back. Happy Tuesday. I hope everybody's having a good day. And oh, by the way, Nintendo won E3! No one will tell me otherwise. I think we are all in the category of Nintendo frickin' won E3. Ah! It's really hard to hug this guy's butt. This guy just does not want you to hug the butt. A butt hugger he'd not be. Ah! Just don't be in front of his face, because that's what happens. You get smooshed. You get smooshed. Okay, that was still helpful because I needed to figure out, like, how much effort it was going to be taking to stay at his butt. So now I can kind of make an assessment of how much power I actually want to utilize in my in my
All the
strikes.
power you can muster.
Well, obviously two-handed. We got to do it two-handed. If we did one-handed, it's gonna be like tickling him. See, I actually like Ludwig's Holy Blade now because of the speed. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Tonitrus is great too, but jeez, the speed of the one hand on this. And also, it doesn't use that much stamina, which is even better. Okay. So now we're going to try something a little different. Instead, I'm going to do the R2 attack and see how well that does against Epigetus. Because now we know what the minor strike does. Oh, that's a lot better. But
When you want to just slash it.
it depends on how much opportunity I can get to slash it. Because basically, I just gotta hug his butt.
Ah!
Otherwise, that happens. Like, you just can't be in front of Epigetus. You can't do it. You can't do it, Andrea. You just can't do it. Because I have to, like, actually, like, do you see how much my stamina bar is going down?
Mm-hmm.
Just from running to his butt. Just from running to his butt. So at that point, yeah, I just have to prioritize a little bit and say, okay, well, if I'm going to do this, then I have to do it, like, one swipe at a time. Okay. Nope, screw you. Yeah, that's what I thought. Mini celestial emissary. Ah, damn you. Okay, so how is everybody doing tonight? And by the way, once again, Nintendo 1E3! No one's telling me different! I mean, I feel bad for Zelda players, but man, I got a Metroid game, so I don't really care! I am going to say this. If they do not give me a pair of Joy-Cons to go with Metroid Dread, I will cry. On the inside. You won't see me actually do it on stream, but I will cry on the inside. And that's how you will know it was serious. Can I just point out, it's so hard to tell what's his butt and what's his face? This does not help with Epigetus at all. Dude! Yeah, he's a nasty mother.
Holy cow.
Uh-huh.
We can't even...
Yeah, I'm just trying to get to his butt so that I can heal.
Whoa!
Yeah, he'll do that too. Why can't I not poke him in the butthole? Ow.
You did, and he got mad.
It did get mad. the stab did a lot more damage. Basically almost tripled it.
What if you added some lightning paper to your weapon?
We could.
And see how
But really quick, I just want to see what is going to do the best initial damage. Because if I'm going to apply lightning paper, I'm going to apply it to the one that's going to do the most.
Jeez!
Son of a... I hate this guy! He's like a mini celestial emissary. Well, it's a good thing I went off and got all the blood echoes I needed, huh? Holy moly. So this time we're going to try the razor blade, or the razor saw against Evidietis and see if that does a little bit more. There's really not that much difference between Ludwig's Holy Blade and that, but technically right now, the Saw Blade is better, attack-wise. Ludwig's Holy Blade has a lot of other benefits that the other one doesn't have. Ha ha!
You wish you could pick up that body and just throw it down there. Woo!
I wish I could pull a Kazuya Mishima and throw them into the volcano. I need to show you that trailer, and it's hilarious. Because, like, you don't know the story of Tekken, but to give you kind of a summary, the main concept of Tekken is a feud between Kazuya Mishima, who is the Smash character, and his dad, Heihachi. The reason for this feud is because when Kazuya was like 5 years old, Heihachi threw him into a volcano. No, I'm not kidding. That is the actual lore. And the purpose of that was because Heihachi believes that just like a lion's cub, if you don't crawl back up, then you're not worthy, kind of thing. And so what it's actually become is kind of a jokingly homage to one or the other throwing the other into a volcano. So I love the fact that when they introduced Kazuya in Smash, he is basically taking all of his opponents and throwing them into a volcano. Including, the best one is Kirby. And, like, he throws him into the volcano, and he just kind of stands there, and in the background you can see Kirby flying off. Yeah, it actually might be better to go with the razor. Ow! He does not like me. Have you noticed that? He just doesn't like me. I don't know why he doesn't like me, Andrew. I just don't know. Yeah, I need to show you that. It's hilarious just to see him, like, he first takes Ganondorf, and then he takes Captain Falcon and throws him into the volcano. And then it's just like everybody. Samus gets thrown in, Fox gets thrown in, and the last one's Kirby. Because of course it is, because Sakurai.
Was that the introduction of the Smash character?
Yes, the last Smash character. A lot of people were speculating that we were going to get a Fighters Pass Season 3, but it looks like we're not. Smash Ultimate is it. That is it for Smash Ultimate, rather. There we go. So, yeah, I mean, that's a great way to end off a season, is, like, you finally pay homage to the company that helped you build Smash Ultimate. Because Bandai Namco did that. And you give one of their flagship characters. Although it is such a... This is the problem that I have with characters like Sephiroth and Cloud and Kazuya, is that they are so dark in comparison to everything else that it's just a weird contrast to have Kazuya up there and then have Kirby. Or cute and cuddly Mario. But it was satisfying to see him go Devil Kazuya and destroy everything on screen for his final smash. Alright, so this is Ebrietas. We're gonna have quite a few attempts, guys. It's gonna be a thing. Yeah. Oh my gosh. The camera is like my worst enemy right now. I can only imagine if I was locked onto this guy. Oh shit. Shit. Yep. This is the strat, everybody. This is the strat. You just hug his ass, and you do as much damage as you can. I mean, you can technically do more, but you have to have the cannon, and I don't think I've killed the hunter that drops the cannon. And I'm not even going to try to kill the hunter that drops the cannon.
Weren't you gonna at least try lightning to see how much?
Yeah, now that I figured out which one does the most. There we go. That does it. So, do I have lightning paper? I should. Yeah, bolt paper.
Mm-hmm.
So actually,
I'd wait till you get in there.
Well, I can't do it when I'm in there.
Oh, you can't?
No, because we're gonna aggro him pretty quickly.
Then do it when you about.
We're gonna have to do it like in the leech room. Okay. Okay. The altar of despair. You don't want to smash me. Not that much difference in damage, honestly.
Maybe when you're really low, you should just run away from him. Get some distance.
You can't do that. He does the big beam, remember?
Well, then heal when you get far enough.
Well, I'm trying very hard to heal, hon. I know that I do not heal to your standards, but I am trying to heal. Yeah, that wasn't a whole lot of difference. Now, I just wish I could figure out a way to make the camera not my enemy in this fight. Because once I get, like, to a certain point, I have to readjust the camera.
Then I wish you could lock on.
I mean, I could try. I don't think it'll go very well, but...
Well, maybe it will target something, so it'll keep the camera focused on that, and then maybe you wouldn't have to worry about...
Well, there's only one thing I can target.
But maybe you wouldn't, at least, you would have no choice but to, you know, so you wouldn't have to fix your camera all the time.
Okay. Well, let's test it out and see if it works out. Ebrietas.
Just probably don't want to be so close to his body there.
Well, no choice on that one. Do you want me to do damage or not?
Well, you don't want to be like where he's gonna jump and flatten you.
It's gonna be that either way. He is that big. I mean, that was slightly better.
At least you didn't have to. Yeah, at least you didn't have to focus on trying to keep your camera behind you.
Yeah. I just gotta figure out a way to keep behind him. Okay. Let's do this again, everybody. All right. Just for the heck of it, I'm going to do Ludwig's Holy Blade this way. It's probably going to be an abysmal amount of health, but if it yields benefits in the fact of, like, I have more stamina to work with, that might be my saving grace here. Ah! This guy's got insane reach. I almost think I'd do better if I just timed his attacks. Like, I get it, hug his butt, but it's not as easy as people make it out to be. Okay. And trust me, guys, if we start having enough issues with Ebrietas, we actually do have Martyr still that we need to go kill, so we could easily take him out, or at least try to take him out. I don't know, I'm kind of rusty on Martyr, so that one will be fun too. Whoa. Whoa! Whoa! Where am I? Where am I in your body? Ah! Whoa! Ah, jeez! Ah! That was actually a good run, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like almost a quarter of his health. Okay. I think I'm starting to get the hang of it. Kind of. Shall we try with a bigger weapon? One that definitely does more damage? There we go. Holy moly. Okay. This is gonna be fun. Now I see why people get that guy. But from what I understand, he ups his HP to impossible levels. So, is it worth that amount of grief? I don't know.
Well, unless if you want to take the chance and try and get her to head slam her head on the ground and then attack the head.
Oh, I'm waiting for that opportunity too. Don't worry about that.
Maybe then you can stun her.
Trust me, I'm doing that too. Yeah.
Ooh! Ooh! That was a great stun there or something.
Yeah, but it wasn't a head smash.
No, but it sure
Because I didn't do it.
maybe got exhausted?
Maybe? Oh, that was worthless. Oh my god! The only reason that didn't work was I got stuck on the wall. Okay, that was a much better run. But I was getting very, very stamina starved. So let's try the saw blade instead. It does about the same amount. Actually, no, it's about half of it, but...
That was close.
Uh-huh. It's just difficult for me to keep track of when the head smash is going to happen, because I'm so close to his body. Henrietta's daughter of the cosmos. Whoa! Whoa! Okay, the camera freaked out a little bit there. I'm not gonna lie. Ow!
Oh my gosh.
Oh. Hi. Oh! Ow! Where am I? Oh my gosh, he's mad. He's mad! I'm sorry that I called your children what I called them. I don't even know what I called them. If I didn't get freaked out by the camera, that would have gone a lot better. Okay, well. You know what, screw it. I'm done being all dainty with these guys. All right. Let's go again, shall we? By the way, I should also point out we have 12 bosses left in this game.
Nice.
We're almost done. Or we're halfway there, anyway.
Well, I don't know. What was everybody looking forward to E3 this year?
Nobody really knew what to expect. I mean, a couple of things were hopefully going to be better than I think anybody realized, but no, E3 tended to be another kind of slow year, if I've got to be honest. It was a slow year, what can I say? But hey, I will at least give credit to Nintendo, because as I'm talking to people, they presented the most games, probably even the most release dates of games, and a lot of those games coming out this year.
Maybe back away so you can get her away from the wall.
I'm trying.
Well, that was...
That's what happens when I back up! I don't want to get eaten by the what's-its-face!
Yeah, but you keep running into the wall so you get...
That's not me! That's her! I wouldn't run into a wall. She would!
She backed you into a corner.
Yes! She caught me nice and vulnerable. And she took advantage of me, Andrea. She took advantage of me. No, I will say, like, the most games to present, I think, goes to Nintendo, especially with the most games coming out this year. And also kind of footholding 2022 as well. Because with Breath of the Wild 2, that's a solid game that people are going to be waiting on. in 2022. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. What did you think of the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer? You haven't told me.
Well, it's interesting, but
That's definitely a word I'd use. There's a lot there, and unfortunately, it probably brought more questions than answers.
well, it's like, well, I don't know what's going on until more get revealed later on, but you know.
I have noticed that a lot of people are very mad at the trailer because they were really hoping for a playable Zelda, and it looks like she's going to be out of the picture for a majority of the game again. Like, if that trailer is to be believed, because they basically just, you know, she's fallen down a pit and you don't know where she is. Ow. Oh my gosh. I mean, the head is definitely the weak spot. Just trying to find time to get back there from the rear, it seems to be my biggest issue. Ow!
Oh!
That's using your head? Oh my gosh, how did I survive? Oh. Yeah, I don't think we got a whole lot of answers aside from, okay, it looks like Ganon. Zelda's fallen down a pit, so a lot of people, I guess, were hoping that you'd have a playable Zelda, which would mean maybe that you could have some kind of co-op. So, like, a person could come into your game, but they'd be Zelda, kind of thing. And I think that was way too much to hope for anyway. But, like, would I like a playable Zelda? Sure. Yeah, I got no problem with that. But co-op in a Zelda game, when it's not planned for it? Like, Breath of the Wild didn't work that way, guys.
I mean, would you want a co-ed Breath of the Wild?
A co-ed Breath of the Wild? Yes, I would very much like a co-ed Breath of the Wild. A co-op one, you mean?
No,
not really. Not really.
No, I meant what I said. No.
Like No, I don't want a co-ed one either. Separate the boys and the girls. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I know, but even a co-op is...
Well, and a lot of people, like, the reason they want it is because somebody modded Zelda. So, like, instead of playing as Link, you play as Zelda in Breath of the Wild on, like, homebrewed stuff. So it's like, okay, well, that's on homebrew. What makes you think Nintendo's going to do that? You know, it's a great thing to hope for, but you have to think logically about, like, is Nintendo going to take this character and make them play it? Just because the hackers did. And no, I don't think they would. If anything, they're more interested in saying F you to the hackers. Oh, you guys made Zelda playable? Well, then we're just going to go ahead and do the opposite because that's what the hackers wanted to do. Ah! Oh my gosh. Why is so much of this just a race?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm so glad I did that. Oh! Oh shit! Oh shit! I think that's a nasty attack. Oh my gosh, I was within an inch.
If only you had a long range sword or something.
Well, I do. Ow.
Oh! Ooh!
I think we broke him, Andrea.
And how so?
Just for ow! Oh, that was going so well too.
Wow.
There was a second there where he was like up on a rock, and it looked like he really couldn't move, but somehow he figured out, like somehow he basically flew and readjusted himself. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, is he broke? Let's just take advantage of this. And then he fixed himself. So I was wrong. I was horribly wrong. But yeah, so we had Breath of the Wild, and holy crap. The other one I forgot to acknowledge on Twitter, Advance Wars fans, congratulations! You got Advance Wars 1 and 2 being remade on Switch, which is what a lot of people have been asking for. Either a remake or bringing the older games into the Nintendo Switch Online shop. Ah, damn it. So, yeah, congratulations, dude. We didn't see Splatoon 3. I should point that out. We also did not see Bayonetta 3. Or Metroid Prime 4, which we did confirm in interviews later that Metroid Dread is not Prime 4. It is a separate project that was being worked on by the same team that did Samus Returns. So I am totally stoked about that game. We'll get to that one in a minute, but... yeah, Advanced Wars, Super Monkey Ball, which had its 20th anniversary this year. Guess what, boys and girls? That's being celebrated because you're getting a Super Monkey Ball game. They're basically remaking the first game. That's definitely an anniversary I didn't see being celebrated. Then you also got Kazuya Mishima in... What happened?
Oh, I was just trying to get the chat.
Okay. Okay, cool. This is still working. Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got Kazuya Mishima in Smash, and I guess he is the penultimate character. So, Smash Ultimate is done at a whopping 75 characters.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and I don't know if we're going to get another Smash game. So, like, enjoy that, people. We got a new Mario Party that's coming out this October. A lot of games coming out in October. I should point that out. Big swipe is just such a pain. it's those broad swipes that get me every time. I'm getting a lot of head strikes, though. Damn it! There was a point where he was basically just headbutting himself into the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And I got quite a bit of damage out of it, but yeah. Didn't work out. Let's try this again, shall we? And maybe at 8 o'clock, if I still haven't made any success with Ebrietas, I'll swap over to Ligarius.
And try again.
Uh-huh. See if I can at least get him down. I want to get a boss down tonight. I don't care which, I just want to get a boss down. But yeah, the big ones were... actually, let's... So, we were talking about Breath of the Wild 2. And we also got some information about Skyward Sword. Basically, it seems to me like a port, but I have a feeling that in the coming month or so, we're going to find out about additional features that they added.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing for additions is the...
Ow.
I think the biggest thing as far as additions is getting the Wiimote functions to work on the right analog stick. I think that's where a lot of the bonus time got put. But Zelda fans, I genuinely feel bad for you guys because Zelda Game & Watch is not what you guys deserved. It's not. Like, Mario Game & Watch didn't work because I believe that was also announced for the Mario anniversary. And that didn't do well. And Zelda Game & Watch was just lame. I mean, you want to add in on that?
If I wanted to play those games, I might as well play it on a console versus...
I just found it funny that when you and I were both looking at the trailer, we both went, what?
Mm-hmm.
You know? That's stupid.
Especially with the whole time thing, I think you
Yeah,
get distracted.
That's just going to be distracting. And then the other thing I'm actually legitimately curious about is, so the way that the Zelda one works is that the tiles change when a minute changes. So what happens when the minute's changing? Are those tiles just not, you're not able to walk on them? Because that's going to kill somebody. You know it will. Also, just not a Game & Watch. Come on, Nintendo.
If you want to add a
That
Game
was
& Watch,
half-hearted.
if you want to add a Game & Watch, you can add it, include it into as a bonus thing in a regular game.
No, just don't do that. Like, I get that Game & Watch was like your kind of your first foray into games, but like there's a reason that Game & Watch is not a thing anymore, and it hasn't been for years.
Well, I mean, they did a sort of a similar thing with Kingdom Hearts, but that was optional if you wanted to play it.
But that was in the game.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're gonna do that, you might as well.
What I'm saying is like you made this physical Game & Watch that has 3 Zelda games.
4.
3.
Well, then what
Zelda
was
1, Zelda 2, and Link's Awakening.
Then
Oh yeah, then they had that Vermin game.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Which I wouldn't call a game. It's just a little Game & Watch game that they made look like Link. Just, that was half-hearted. In essence, like, and I know that they said at the end there that they still have plenty of other games in development, but I really hope you have something else in Zelda aside from those, because if that's your Zelda anniversary stuff, that is weak. Because it's not like Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out this year. That would have been a great thing. Like, have a brand new Zelda game come out in 2021? Nope. That's not how this is going to work.
Either that or an upgrade on one of the Zelda games.
Yeah, like one of the older Zelda games. I mean, we're getting, like, we got a sneak peek into the expansion pass for Age of Calamity.
Yeah.
And that looked cool, but, yeah, what they really did need to announce is, like, either Wind Waker HD or Twilight Princess HD is coming to Switch. Like, some of the other stuff that was being talked about, that needed to be your surprise. And I'm not saying that it's out of possibility. I mean, Nintendo was vague enough to say, like, never say never. So, I mean, yeah, you could make the justification of, yeah, it could still technically happen. It's just not going to be part of the 35th anniversary. Or another idea that I know a few people were pointing out was maybe they're holding Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD on the bench just in case they have to delay Breath of the Wild 2. And if they have to do that, then I mean, I guess I get it, but I think it would have been much better if they just said, okay, this is when this is when Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out, and here is when these are coming out.
Well, we don't even know if they're coming out.
They're being worked on. They have to be being worked on.
How do you know?
Because they've brought over so many of the popular Wii U titles. They've got to be bringing them over. Like, both Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD were very hot sellers on the Wii U. And right now we're seeing a lot of Wii U games being brought over because nobody... Like, unfortunately, the Wii U is probably one of the worst-selling consoles for them. Hence why we have Hyrule Warriors came over. That's why we have Tropical Freeze came over. Because there are a lot of fans that never got to play those. Because they didn't want to buy a Wii U. Okay, I'm going to be quiet for a second and actually concentrate and see if we can get anywhere on this box. Go ahead. Me the F over. Yep, that one will work. Alright, one more attempt and then we'll start making our way to Lagarius because this is not working out. I wish there was a way to be able to tell if Ebrietas makes itself open, and then at that point just smash its face. But I don't think that happens. Jeez. There we go. Okay, here we go. Oh, jeez. Okay. That was smoosh. Ebrietas hates us. What on earth did we do to her? Okay, I can do one more.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will go to Martyr. Okay, do that. There we go. I will also say this as I enter. The worst presentation of all of E3 was Take-Two Interactive because they announced no games. They announced nothing.
Really?
They gave no updates on any games that are being published.
So why were they even there?
That's a very good question, Andrea. Could you please answer that for Take-Two Interactive? Ow! That actually was working for me
Maybe you should.
for a little bit. Yeah, that worked a lot better. Well, we're gonna go do Martyr
Okay.
for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And if we kill him, then we'll come back to Ebrietas. But if we don't kill him in an hour, back to Ebrietas we go.
Mm-hmm.
Unless we're showing real progress with Martyr. Which I don't know if we will or not, but... Oh my gosh. Okay, so Return to the Hunter's Dream. Yeah, so Take-Two Interactive, I believe, is the publisher for Rockstar. So at that point, they are responsible for Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, all that. Take-Two Interactive literally was just a Zoom call. It was just a Zoom call, and from what I understand, they got real preachy, and they had no game announcements. They had nothing to present. They reserved time just so they could preach to everybody. How many people are really liking Take-Two Interactive right now?
What did they preach about?
I don't know. I haven't watched any of the conferences, and frankly, since I would have to pay to go behind the paywall to see it, I don't know if I will.
Well, who said they were preaching?
Twitter was, apparently. They were just basically, from what I understand, they were following the whole guideline that everybody else was. Like, all the games journalists were saying, like, we all need to be better. We all need to be better as gamers. How do you know we're not better, dumbass?
And you're talking to a variety of an audience that...
Yeah, some of them are probably better. So how dare you call them not? I don't know if they're better or not. We as gamers need to be better. How about you as journalists need to do your fucking job?
Well, I think there are probably even some gamers that are young in age.
But that's not who they're reaching out to. They're reaching out to the young adults. Because the kids don't give a shit. The kids are going to be playing Minecraft or Fortnite or or the other. Like, unfortunately, young gamers are just, they play whatever the fad is at that given moment. So what they're really trying to do is they're trying to preach to young adult/adult gamers who are either very set in their viewpoints politically, or they just want to preach to somebody because they want to be like their college professor. The one specifically that irritates me is the guy who got to interview Morimasu Sato, the guy who made Village. I believe he's the director for 7 as well. So, this guy has got tons of people wanting to talk to him about Village. And about maybe what other things he's got going on with Reverse and things like that. And you have the audacity to go up and ask him, is Carl Heisenberg a Nazi? Who the fuck cares? He was a giant robot!
And where in your mind did that come from?
The justification that he gave, the journalist in particular, was that Carl had some dog tags on his model that looked like they might have been Nazi.
Oh, you're not gonna stun him?
I'm just getting back into the flow of it. Whoa! Jeez. Well, that's not working anymore.
Yeah, I think we had a harder time trying to stun him in the second phase anyway.
And of course, I
Oh,
missed my
dang.
opportunity. Whoa!
Run away! Run away! I'm like, run away!
Ow! Where is he? No! No! No!
We're doing so good!
I actually thought I had his number. Oh my gosh!
You thought you had it.
No!
You thought you had.
Ow!
Well, good thing. Well, good thing you were not at this much health or something.
It doesn't matter. Oh my gosh!
That was for you, Rising Sun.
Yeah, he's out there in the ether somewhere.
Aww.
Oh man! I was so proud of myself. I was doing so good.
I'm like, you're so close to the edge. Why were you
I
going?
know, because of my tantrum, my mouth kind of hurts. Damn it. Yeah, what were we talking about before? Take Two? Yeah, they were just preaching. I would say the next award goes to Capcom. Capcom basically just... They could have easily done the equivalent of a Capcom Direct and told us the updates to Resident Evil and Monster Hunter.
Well, I'm glad they're doing Resident Evil 8 DLC.
Yeah, but they didn't need to come out all the way to... Well, I don't know if they went out all the way to LA. But, well, no, they did, because they got interviewed. Oh, no, we were talking about the guy who asked if Heisenberg was a Nazi.
Yeah.
Yeah, because apparently on his bottle, there's like a dog tag that looks like it's a Nazi. It was just... People are just looking to preach, and I'm so sick and tired of it. So much so that I'm about ready to start, like literally writing the bosses of these companies, the ones who own the websites, and just saying, look, can you please have a sit down with your fucking employees and say, look, you work for a gaming news website. If you're not willing to report gaming news, get the fuck off my website. Because so many of them are just doing that because they're on IGN. Mm-hmm. Or they're on Kotaku. They don't want to go and make their own blog and put that shit up there because nobody will read it. Mm-hmm. So why not put it up on IGN, on Polygon, on GamePro, or not GamePro, GameSpot, because that's where the audience is, right? Well, not anymore. At one point, all of these were worthwhile investments. All these websites were worthwhile investments. None of them are now. Ow, jeez.
Alright, back out. Get him away from the freaking edge.
Ah, damn it. Damn.
Oh.
Trying to kill the sun. Like, I mean, if you're gonna go, okay. Let's just say you're interested, Andrea, in going to go look up the newest information about Breath of the Wild 2. Are you going to the website that's going to have the occasional article of how whiteness is hurting the gaming industry? Are you going to read that article?
Why would I care about that?
Well, that's what a lot of them are doing. Is like, so they'll put out the game news stuff, and then you'll have, like, on a slow news day, that's what they're putting up. A bunch of social justice bullshit.
It's like, it has nothing to do with...
And I get it, that it's a slow news day, so those are the days that you go in depth. That's when you take the information that you have and you speculate. And that's when you do things like opinion polls. Not about how whiteness is affecting gaming culture, but about how Breath of the Wild 2's new gameplay systems are going to affect players. Okay? That's when you do stuff like that. I'm not a journalist, and I know that.
I'd rather go on and listen to people theorize stuff
Yeah.
that's related to the game and not worry about...
The problem is that now we have a bunch of gaming journalists that aren't even fans.
Then
They're basically using it to piggyback into writing for the New York Times.
Mm-hmm.
And so at that point, okay, I get that concept, but if you can't write about what you're passionate about, then why don't you go write what you're passionate about? Oh, because the New York Times won't hire me. Why won't they hire you? Because you don't have enough stories there? Okay, sometimes you have to write about things you don't like. Sometimes you have to speculate on things you don't like. That's life.
Mm-hmm. Then if you don't like it, then maybe that's not for you.
If you don't like it, then hand it over to somebody who wants to. It still irritates me to no end. I know so many journalism students that still are not in their ideal job. Like, I knew a guy who wanted to work for Game Informer. He can't do that because he can't get an honest, like, game journalism job. And man, wouldn't it be great if he could just take yours and go write for IGN and then maybe build up a resume so that he can then go work at his dream job? There we go.
Maybe you can go find your body. Oh. Was that what you're...
I'm not even trying.
Okay.
I'm just focusing on him.
Crap.
She just wastes you. Okay. And I especially love, like, all the people that are being highlighted on Twitter right now. That they sat there and preached the entire time. Like, can we please stop giving a platform to people like Greg Miller or to Zombie fucking Unicorn?
Why were those two, like...
I know Greg Miller was there, and it wouldn't surprise me if Zombie Unicorn was reporting.
And they were the ones that were preaching.
Greg Miller, I know, was on screen. I'm not sure about Zombie Unicorn, but still, take away her platform. Because all she has done is be nothing but a cancer to gaming.
Mm.
And as far as I'm concerned, a lot of those gaming journalists, they're nothing but clout chasers. Because, man, wouldn't I love to just be able to go to E3 and talk to all the game designers and ask the hard questions? Like, how are you accounting for this specific feature not being liked about a game? And no, you brought up the asshole that wanted to ask if Carl Heisenberg was a fucking Nazi. Does it matter?
I love it when people
Even the director looked at you and said, "That is not related. He is not related to Nazis."
I know, and especially you love it when people like ask these weird questions that have no relevance.
Oh, I used to get so pissed at BlizzCon when people would ask when are we going to have more fat women in World of Warcraft? Can you please ask something of relevance? Because Blizzard will create characters that we can all get behind. It doesn't matter if they're fat, skinny, broad, short, whatever distinction you want to make. They will make characters that we care about. Except not now, because fucking Activision runs them. Ow. Okay. Well, that hurt. Jeez, I hate that explosion.
I would. Oh!
I hate it when that crap happens.
I would avoid when he's doing his sword technique there. That seems like the most deadliest thing ever. Ah! Get away from the freaking!
Damn it!
Get away from the freaking!
I don't have a choice!
Yes, you do.
No, I don't!
You can run.
No, I do not! Because he is bringing me to the edge, and he should jump off just because I've jumped off so many other times! We're not frustrated. Not at all. Yeah, so the next one I think would be Capcom. They didn't really have much to update on. I'm just not sure where to put Microsoft. I know where to put Bethesda. I love that after the Microsoft conference, IGN was so happy to put up an interview from Todd Howard about Starfield. Just like, I don't think he has time to interview. I think he has to go make a fucking game. Otherwise, his fans are going to be mad at him again, and maybe they'll actually, get some sense. One other thing that made me laugh that we actually didn't discuss, and me and Jiro were talking about today, was I forgot to mention this, but you've heard us rant about a game called Fallout 76, right, Andrea?
Kind of.
Yes, it's one of the most recent Bethesda blunders that is primarily responsible for the fact that Microsoft owns them now. Mm-hmm. Because they basically tried to create a Fallout MMO, and it blew up in their face, because not only did they not get the collector's edition shit right, but they couldn't even get the game right. Because it was a broken heap of mess. And so what do they do at the Microsoft conference? They announced DLC for Fallout 76. Because why not? Mm. They announced an outfit that you can get that's basically like pro-America crap. And it's just like, who's even playing Fallout 76? Can I ask that honestly? Who's playing it?
Probably not.
Can somebody step up in the comment section and tell me that you're playing Fallout 76? Because then at that point, at least I'll look at you and go, okay, well, that content was made for you. But not for the huge audience that Bethesda was hoping to get from Fallout 76. And then, of course, they announced Starfield, their sci-fi Elder Scrolls, is going to come out 2022. And all we've seen of it is conceptual stuff. Maybe they had a bit more of a trailer over there, but unless that thing was showing actual in-game gameplay, I'm guaranteeing you it's not going to be a great game. And in fact, this is going to blow up in Bethesda's face so hard that Microsoft is going to literally restructure them. Deservedly so as well.
Is that the one where you're like, it's going to be a dumpster fire?
Yes, it will be an actual dumpster fire. You know, like Fallout 76 was. Oh, that sucks so hard.
What?
I was trying to knock him off. He literally can't be knocked off.
Well, yeah, because that would be unless it glitched and he did fall off, and then you'd be like, woohoo!
Ow! You son of a bitch! Wait, where's the sword?
Maybe he damaged it. Ooh! Come on.
Aha!
Run!
Son of a bitch! Son of a... I can't lock onto you! Fucking hell! Oh, that was so close. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, yeah, Microsoft I'm not sure where to put. I mean, obviously, you guys are getting Halo Infinite, so that's great. Although I do know that some Gears fans are pissed because even though I guess Gears Tactics was there, Gears 6 has not shown up yet.
You're just
Who
happy.
else was there?
You're-
Ubisoft. Oh, that was a dumpster fire too. Basically announcing expansions for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So Assassin's Creed Valhalla is an Assassin's Creed MMO, is basically what they're saying. I mean, granted, they got the Mario Rabbids game that got announced, and I do know that the Mario Rabbids game did fairly well, but from what I understand, this is not the same game. It's not a strategy game from what I can tell. It's a whole other genre. So, I mean, good on you. You got that. Oh, and Microsoft did have Forza Horizon 5, which is our daughter's favorite. Her favorite game that came out of E3 this year.
Mm.
But that's just because Hot Wheels wasn't there. EA wasn't there. Blizzard announced the release date for Diablo 2 Resurrected. And Square Enix probably had a better showing than most. Because they did have Guardians of the Galaxy, and that does look good. I haven't seen the full trailer, but I saw the Nintendo trailer for it. But they announced an expansion for Avengers. You know, the game nobody's playing.
Was the director's cut for...
Death Stranding was, I can't remember what conference it was announced at, but I think it was one of the indie gaming ones.
Oh, yeah.
Where they had a few Sony announcements, but... Basically, I think Sony's gonna wait and do their own little direct event. Okay. Go boom. That was totally by accident. But I'll take it. Son of a bitch!
Oh my gosh. Back up! What are you doing? Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even see where my health was. Oh my god. All I was doing was dancing around a sword.
You were just dancing.
I'm officially done countering that sword. I'm just dancing around it. Cause like sometimes I get it by complete accident and sometimes I don't. It's annoying as crap. But that and they had Final Fantasy Origin, which I know a lot of people are very mad about it, but I at least think the concept is cool. And who knows, maybe they'll listen to people's feedback and they'll stop making the main character look like he's out of Final Fantasy fucking 7 and instead just go with the original Warrior of Light design. Or maybe they'll add it as DLC. But I will give this advice to both Microsoft as well as Square Enix. Stop supporting games that have very little audience. Okay? I know. You want to be part of the MMO market. But here's the bottom line. You need to have big audiences to sustain games like that. And right now, Avengers doesn't have that. Neither does Fallout 76. And neither will Starfield! Can we please get back to an age of sanity where budgets are acceptable? And you leave the most room for profit? You know, like a competent business would? But how are we going to get our money back for Avengers? You won't! Accept it as a fucking loss. Learn from it. That idea might have been a great thing in the age of MMOs, but you waited too long. And frankly, you should have listened to the audience too, because a lot of the audience just never liked how you were making any of the characters look. So I think you should have listened by making different skins so that people could have the Captain America they want.
Yeah, it's like, just listen to your audience. They know what they want. That's how you're going to need to make the money.
But they can't listen to the audience, Andrea. The audience are vile haters. They're all white supremacists or whatever bullshit they want to invent today.
Her daughter wanting to join.
Of course. Oh my gosh, it went through his body.
Gee.
Frickin' heck, man. He gets super aggressive. That's that. Hello, Sheen McLaughlin.
Hello.
This is the only boss I've never beaten in Bloodborne. Oh, okay. Well, welcome, and hopefully we beat it for you. You just have to deal with me preaching a little bit about E3 in between fights. So, Andrea, would you like to continue your point about listening to the fans?
That's just basically it. You know, they're the ones who are buying your merchandise.
Evil, white supremacist, misogynist piece of crap. You garbage human. How dare you ask the game developers, the business, to listen to the consumer? How dare you?
Yeah, I know. I bet if, probably some people who would probably be the more successful are the ones that know what they...
Well, right now it's the indie company, it's the indie devs who are listening, because they're like, oh, dude, look at this community that's latched onto my little game, and then they do everything in their power to be able to accommodate to them, and that's why they get the additional Kickstarter money and things like that. So, that's where I'm at with it. Honestly, I am so sick and tired of people in the gaming industry not listening. That's why I've made it my goal this summer, at least as much as I can, to support indie. Because indie still has the passion. Indie still has the drive.
It only works if it's a game that nobody's ever heard of versus something that's popular that's already
well, a
in
game
existence.
that nobody's heard of is not going to do well. But a game that's gained enough word of mouth, like an indie game, that'll do well.
Well, I meant was, like, if you have nothing to compare it to,
Mm-hmm.
no one's going to care what, as long as it caters to what it is. But if it's something that you're like, well, I want this and this and this, then usually it's probably best to kind of go with that flow versus rather than taking that chance of changing it up. The formula.
It really is, and this is going to sound really, really bad, and then I promise I'm going to shut up so that I can focus. It's a balance. You have to maintain a balance, because the fans cannot dictate your game. You have to have a vision, because you're asking people to get behind your vision. So it's not a bad thing to have that vision. But it's also not a bad thing to listen to the fans and say, okay, well, maybe this mechanic could be this one. Ow. Yeah, that was going to happen. Oh my gosh. But no, Andrea's not wrong. You have to be able to maintain that balance. You have to be able to listen to people, but also stay true to your creative vision. And more importantly, understand which fans to listen to, because here's the thing. A dude with 50 different Twitter accounts that is telling you that your game is sexist is probably not going to buy your game. And is probably not a fan. And is probably just out there to start shit with you. Like, one of the things that I've been following this weekend that has actually been pissing me the fuck off is Scott Cawthon has recently been targeted by cancel culture because how dare he be successful and then turn around and take that money and put it to what he thinks is going to be the best use, which in this case was he donated to Mitch McConnell, he donated to Tulsi Gabbard, and he donated to Donald fucking Trump. Oh God, that's the sign of the apocalypse, isn't it? Now all the auto animatronics are going to come out of the woodwork in Make America Great Again shirts and hats. Oh God! Because that's exactly what's going to happen. Dude's successful, put his money where he thinks it will do the most good, and then put the rest towards his family. Fun fact, by the way, his family helps him beta test his games. Okay? He loves and supports his family. Good Christian man. In fact, what's funny about Five Nights at Freddy is that originally he was making nothing but Christian games. Like Christian, wholesome games. And then, as basically a big FU to the fans, he made Five Nights at Freddy's. And guess what was successful?
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, exactly. Because he did, I can't remember, it was like Chipper's the character, but like Chipper's Time or something like that, where somebody said, that's like a really creepy looking animatronic. And so he goes, huh. And then he made Five Nights at Freddy's. He has a very loving fan base behind him that thankfully has stuck with him for the most part. Especially when a lot of that fan base has parents that are probably being told how horrible and white supremacist he actually is. I've listened to an interview with the guy. The guy's not a fucking Nazi. In fact, he's a dude who latched onto his community so hard that the YouTubers that showcased his game, he brought on as beta testers as well. And then, when he would do something new, they were the ones who got first dibs, so that they could test it for him. Yeah, that was... drives me crazy because the dude listened to his community. One of the greater stories that I like is he got a bunch of fan mail when he started up Five Nights, and one of them was literally a kid who was writing to Foxy. Mm-hmm. Foxy the animatronic.
Yeah.
And so, because he loved the enthusiasm of this little kid, he wrote a letter back as Foxy.
Uh-huh.
He even, made, little scratches in the paper to make it look like his pirate hook he was trying to write. And he kept getting it stuck. And he put a PS, sorry, I kept getting my hook stuck in the paper.
Oh, yeah.
So he wrote back as... That is so cool!
Aww.
That is such a cool developer right there. That's a guy I want to support. Okay? But no, he's too successful, therefore he must die. He must die a silent death.
Oh my gosh.
But man, I will give him the major props for his response to everybody on this. Is basically, I'm not going to apologize. I did what I did. I do not feel bad about it. And if I get canceled, I get canceled.
It's like people
Just
need to leave
clap for me, please, Andrea, because I can't do it right. Thank you. Thank you, Scott.
It's like people kind of need to leave any of that kind of stuff out of the gaming community. It does not belong there.
It does not. And what's really sad about that is the people that are bringing it in, they're not gamers. They're not.
I know. It's like... I mean, good... Heaven forbid. I mean...
Anybody want to tell me that, what's her fuck nugget, Sarkeesian is a gamer? Yeah. Sure she is.
I think it's just, you know, it's like for people who want to go to do that to ruin gaming for everybody, how would they feel if someone brought all that crap to something they enjoy?
But they don't enjoy anything.
I know.
I'm not even kidding when I say that. A lot of these people, Andrea, are miserable human beings. It's why, to some extent, I can empathize with them. Mm-hmm. Because at one point, I was probably in their shoes. But the reason why I am as aggressive as I am on the matter is because the only person that they are hurting is themselves. In the end, like, You know, you can have victims, you can cancel people, but all you're doing is hurting yourself in the process. Because what happens when you cancel that guy? You're not going to start feeling better. You got to go cancel somebody else. What makes that any different from an act like rape or murder? Honestly. Because once you have that first victim, you know, people are not going to like my wording for this, but you pop the cherry. So at that point, all you can do is just keep doing it, and it'll get easier and easier and easier as you do it.
I don't know why you keep running towards it. Yeah.
I keep forgetting about the explosion, primarily. That was the wrong button to press.
Oh!
Son of a bitch!
Shoot silver crystals to see if you can manage to get a lucky hit off of them. Oh!
That was a good run, too. Holy shit. But no, I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, I would really love to be able to support a lot of these companies. I really would. But there's a reason that I've just decided not to support AAA anymore. Because they're buying into this narrative, and unfortunately, they won't listen to the actual fans who have paid for their games for years. None of them do. In fact, I've seen a lot of people make the following email and then receive the following statement. Dear company, I've supported you since 1990, 2000, whatever it is. And after your recent tweets, after your recent handling of franchises or whatnot, I can no longer support your company. Or I can no longer support this game that I love. And until you change the narrative that's going on in your company, I will not support your game. And then they will get the following email. Good, we didn't want you anyway. This ought to show Andrea just how much hated and why I have no problem calling him Neil Cuckman. Because before Neil was was one of the lead writers and now VP, there was a wonderful woman by the name of Amy Hennig. Amy Hennig is one of the main writers for the first 3 Uncharted games. She actually did a little bit of work on 4. She actually, from what I understand, did a little bit of work on The Last of Us. And then Neil and his little cuck, Bruce something or other, I can't remember his name. From what I understand, they basically politicked their way into getting Amy Hennig out of the company. And she was the talent behind Naughty Dog.
Mm-hmm.
And so then they kicked her out and they took credit for her writing, and that's how we got Uncharted 4. That's how we got The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2, in essence. And then they couldn't understand why their game did so poorly, but yet the game that the fact that she was opening up an indie studio got so much support. Like, I'm sure that Neil goes to sleep every night going, why the fuck can't I get the fans to like me? Because you have done everything in your power to make sure they don't. Is it possible for you to bring the fans back to your side? Sure. Sure it is. But that's going to be a long and hard road, and it's going to be a penitent one.
I think you'd be just more like, well, then you better pull your head out of your ass and actually...
Well, Neil's incapable of doing that. I've already stated that it is until Naughty Dog, and I'm sticking to this, by the way, guys. Like, a lot of people have gotten mad at me saying, you're not going to stick to that because your wife's going to buy the next Last of Us anyway. She's buying it, not me. I kid you not. If she says, can you go and get The Last of Us for me because I'm working right now, I will tell her no. But I don't have a problem if she wants to buy it. Because that's her decision and her money to spend. No offense, but I do not want to spend money on Naughty Dog anymore.
And that's fair for you.
Yeah, exactly. That's my conscious decision. You don't have to like that. But you at least understand why I have that.
Yeah.
I've made that decision.
Yeah.
So even if I got, like, my dream game, like they remade Jak and Daxter 1 and all that, like, I don't care. I'm not supporting it.
Oh!
No! I was trying to get out of the way, too. Damn it. Okay, so we're gonna go...
One more attempt?
No. We'll do a couple more, and
Okay.
then we'll go back to Ebrietas.
Okay.
Because right now, I would say that we've had kind of equal success with them. Because this is about where we usually get Ligarius. This is about where we get it. So I'm not disappointed by it.
Man, we had such a good run on the very first attempt.
Yup. That sucked too. Like, I was doing so good, and
I
I'm like,
know.
oh my gosh, am I gonna be able to pull this off? And that's when disaster struck.
That's when you decided to back up and fall off the building. I was like, ah! Stupid building! Stupid roof! That'd be one of the many clips for all the deaths.
Yep. And I said this recently on a podcast, and people don't believe me on it. The second Ian Hazzikostas leaves the WoW team is the day I stop supporting WoW. Because basically what's been going on in the last couple of years is that they have been slowly replacing Blizzard people with Activision people. Activision people don't get why WoW's popular. They haven't been involved in the vision at all. They're hopping in to be able to clout chase and all that. In fact, one of the things that really irritates me is now people on the writing team are these social justice nut jobs who think that they can write the characters better than people like Alex Afrasiabi, Christy Golden, or Chris Metzen. And they've sucked so far. So I've said honest, like, so it's not just Neil. If Ian leaves, Ian is a passionate WoW fan. He's very cold and calculated, and I love that about him, honestly. But the second he leaves, I'm done. Because at that point, I know it's an Activision game. And that's not what I'm willing to pay for. Because at that point, I could say, you know, it's been a good run. You know, I went in 8 expansions. And Andrea's like got that somber look on her face like, are you really making this claim? Yes. I am really making this claim. Mm-hmm. Because if it's not going to be a Blizzard game, then why support it? Especially when I know where a lot of the Blizzard developers went is indie. There we go. I don't even care. I got your sword killed. Oh! Damn throne!
Jeez.
He gets ruthless after a while. Okay, we got one more attempt on Ligarius. And then I'll go back to Ebrietas. And I'll hammer there. And hopefully we'll kill something. I love this game, but its bosses are kind of ridiculous. But they're that nail-biting kind of ridiculous where like you get really close to killing them and it's just like, well, now I have to kill them. And so you keep on hitting your head against the wall until you finally beat him, and then it's just like, oh, there go the endorphins.
Yep.
Drak, you have a problem. Yeah, probably. I have lots of problems. This would be one on a very big pile. And I'm pretty sure if it actually came down to it, Andrew, there would be game companies you don't want to support. If they started doing this ridiculousness. If Sega came out and criticized you for being a Sonic fan, mm-hmm. You'd be like, well, I don't have to buy your game. Like, I have all these other Sonic games that I can go play.
True.
And I love occasionally getting this, where it's like, okay, you're not going to support these games anymore, so what else? What are you going to play?
Tons of other ones.
Do you realize how many actual games are out there that I haven't played? That people have recommended to me? At least 2 or 3 lifetimes. I got games I can go play. I don't have to support the new hotness. I really don't. I could up and not support indie anymore, and I still would have a backlog of indie games that I still haven't played. So to you who say I could never game again, try me. I am so bad at the timing now.
Well, you haven't fought this boss in a long time.
Yeah, I have.
So.
Where's the sword? He put it in the building!
Are you kidding?
Okay,
Okay.
Thank goodness for Chef Boyardee. Oh my god. I'm not gonna lie, I was crapping my pants there for a second.
I wonder if you can stun him when he does that front stab.
Maybe. Last couple times I mistimed it.
Ow!
It's almost like he anticipated where I was going to go. Oh my gosh. Ow!
Jeez.
Ow! Oh no! Ah, god damn it. Okay, well, back to Evrietas. Well, so much for this being a successful night.
Our streak has ended.
What?
I said our streak has ended.
Our streak apparently did end. For a second there, I'm like, what? The stream ended? What?
No, I meant the streak. Like we were having
So, oh my gosh. Yes, the streak has ended, unfortunately, and now we must hammer through some bosses. But yeah, final thoughts on E3. It's a little bit of a mixed bag. I mean, I got something that I desperately wanted. But I can't say the same for everybody else. Because, let's just be honest, there were fans out there that didn't get a lot of Zelda news. There were people who wanted Bayonetta news, and that didn't happen. But overall, I do think that there are some good games that came out of E3. Some with release dates, some without. And so it's not entirely a total loss. But I will also agree with Twitter, Nintendo saved E3. They really did. They had a lot of games coming out this year, and either within a month or within 4 to 6 months.
But this is probably not the year that a lot of people were having such high expectations for certain things to come out when.
The problem is that a lot of those expectations were fueled by anniversaries. Specifically with Metroid, with Zelda, and with Pokemon. And to be honest, like, everybody got something, right? You got Skyward Sword HD, you got Breath of the Wild 2, more information on that. So, I mean, you're good. I wish you could have gotten more, but you're good. Metroid, I got a Metroid game. Like, holy crap. And it's made from the same people who made Samus Returns. That's an amazing thing to me. Oh! He gave me such a splitting headache. Well, we've got stuff to be able to check out in the coming months. So I'm happy about that. I already know that, like, one of the biggest features in July is going to be Skyward Sword, because I really want to see if the changes that they've made will fix Skyward Sword. Because I've been told, who knows how many times, like, go try Twilight Princess HD. I haven't done that yet. And the same thing is being said about Skyward Sword HD. Like, we would probably enjoy it better if we didn't have to deal with the really crappy motion controls. And that's how I played Twilight Princess. I played it on the Wii. So I'd love to see if the changes to controls is enough to salvage the game for me. Because I didn't have beefs with the stories of either of those games. I didn't. I just hated how I had to play the game.
Did you play the whole game?
Yeah, both of them. I even got the magic armor in Wii version of Skyward Sword. Man, that was a waste of time. Yeah, don't get the magic armor in Twilight Princess. Don't do it. I can tell you a dozen other things.
I forgot how you get it.
Oh, you basically have to pay a butt ton of rupees. It's like you have to pay 1,000 rupees to one person, then you have to pay 2,000 rupees to another. That was my goal. And then ultimately what you do is you discount the magic armor from like 100,000 rupees to, I think it's like 400, almost 500. And what's worse about it is that if you use the magic armor, it costs rupees to use.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's been a while.
And so it's a pain in the ass, and it's not even worth it because you get the invulnerability, but once you run out of rupees, it's worthless. So I think the way that it's been calculated is like every other second you lose 2 rupees for having it on, and then for every hit you take, it's minus 12 rupees. And so at that point, like it's just not feasible to utilize. That's my personal opinion. It's just not feasible to utilize in that game. And I have kind of a similar gripe with the Hylian shield in Skyward Sword.
Oh yeah,
It's kind of not worth the side quest to go and get. Because all you got to do is go and get I think it's like the magic shield or something like that. It's like it's a step below, and that's more attainable.
Don't you get like what? Oh, well, don't you get a certain type of shield or something through like one of the? You have to earn it through one of the fights.
Hold on, I'll answer your question in a minute.
Okay.
I'm gonna give a legit try to Ebrietas. Son of a bitch. Oh shit.
What?
I remember this guy gives a dot.
Oh yeah.
And I think if it hits, then it's like it's the brain dude dot. Wow, that was actually a really good run. And I got stuck in his behind for a while, so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna keep attacking. Oh my gosh. That was great. That was actually a really good run. But my bottom line is, with E3, I hope you guys got what you wanted. I hope you guys got the announcements you wanted. For me, I got it. I've got quite a number of games that I'm excited to play now. mean, for crying out loud, like, we didn't even talk about the first announcements that happened, which was Elden Ring. And that's right, the first night was Death Stranding Director's Cut. But you have Elden Ring, which is the new Dark Souls game that's being made by the creator of Dark Souls, as well as George R.R. Martin, the creator of Game of Thrones, basically. So you have something really cool there, and from what I understand, what's newly been shown off in Elden Ring, there's apparently mechanics in the game that mimic Pokemon. Oh, shit! Oh! I got swiped. I got nuked. Still having some better runs at Brietas, though. If worse comes to worse, maybe a half hour in, I'll swap over to Ligarius again and see if maybe we can get something killed. The goal is to kill a boss. If we can't do that, then yeah. Sucks to be us. Heck, there's a bunch of indie game trailers that I've actually been recommended to show to Andrea, and we'll probably do that. Like, there's a couple of really good indie games that were announced at E3, including Axiom Verge 2. I'm very happy about that. But a couple of other really good Metroidvanias and a couple of other games there too. We'll figure it out. Heck, we got to see the Streets of Rage 4 DLC. Did I tell you about that? So they added a DLC character, which is basically the boss of the first Streets of Rage. Ow! Ow! I'm losing a lot of opportunities to strike its head. RPX,
Hello.
welcome. RPX, did you get what you wanted from E3? Oh, and also, welcome Danny269-334. Thank you for following us on Twitch, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Tuesday.
Yep.
And Andrea does it better than me. You needed to give a Happy Tuesday to him.
What, Happy Tuesday?
Yes. Because you do that Happy Tuesday. New Metroid made me a happy camper. Absolutely. And I'm excited for that game. I don't even care that it's going to be technically the last game in the saga between Samus and the Metroids. But more importantly, a new 2D Metroid, yes. From the same people who made Samus Returns. So you pretty much guaranteed I'm never leaving my Switch. It's never happened.
Drak was a happy camper.
Yup. Because it was so unlikely that it's basically the whole concept of like when it's dark, when it's the most dark is when the light of hope shines. And therefore, Metroid Dread! And Drak looked up at the heavens and said, Nintendo has not forsaken me.
It seems like you have to be almost in its front to get it to do more headbutts.
Is that dead? Oh! Well, I'm
now you're dead.
Yes, a new 2D Metroid. I'm so happy for that. I'm very excited. And not only that, RPX, a release date for it. And we do know that Metroid Dread is not Prime 4. So Prime 4 is still being worked on. Which I can guarantee you later on they'll probably consider doing something along the lines of...
Limited Run Games also had a good show.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of the indie game presentations, but there are a lot of trailers that I want to go check out. So RPX, I don't know if you were, was he here yesterday? I can't remember. Because I want to bring this up just because I think it's so stupid. What did you think of the announcement of Starfield coming out next year, as well as new DLC for Fallout 76 and the new expansion for the Avengers? Because that is the most laughable shit to me from all of E3. That and Take-Two Interactive having literally no games.
Pretty much.
All games I don't play. Oh, no, I get that you don't play them. Like, nobody plays them. That's entirely funny. But I find it hilarious that you announce stuff for MMOs that have very small audiences. Oh, okay, never mind. Just kill me. I'm caught in a loop. I just looked. Bethesda announced something for Fallout 76. Wait, people are playing Fallout 76? What did you think of Breath of the Wild 2? That seems to be the one trailer that everybody's speculating on, aside from Metroid. Which, I love the fact that Metroid basically has a Mr. X in the game. So I'm probably going to see a lot of people cyborg arm leak. Yeah, that's pretty much how that looks, right? I also love the people that are bitching that since it looks like Zelda falls down a pit and is not accessible, we probably won't be able to play as Zelda. And a lot of people were hoping for Breath of the Wild co-op, where your guest could be Zelda. Yeah, nope. Not happening.
They only want...
Those people are called liars. And who are they lying to? Themselves? I'll buy themselves. No, the people called liars are the journalists that actually went to E3. Because they've been lying to themselves for years.
Themselves is just a starter.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know if you saw this on Twitter, RPX, and I might have to put this up on the Discord. But I think it was Polygon that was interviewing the director for Resident Evil 8. And I shit you not, dude actually asked if Karl Heisenberg from Village is a Nazi. No, I shit you not. Gaming journalism at its height, people. Co-op in Zelda equals never played a Zelda game. Yeah, probably. Or you just played Breath of the Wild. I'm not surprised. I was! My answer was that his boss should fire him for wasting Sato's time. Because in the time that he could have asked that, I could have asked a way better question. Which would have been, so are any of the new DLC packs going to allow us to play as Rosemary?
Ever seen the movie
No. I've been told to. I'm not a big Western guy. So, getting me into Western, like the only Western that I've really gotten into was a movie called Maverick. And that was it. I don't remember too much from it, but I liked it.
Who knows? Maybe one of the DLC packs for...
No, I'm using that as an example. Like, what would I ask instead of, is Heisenberg a Nazi?
Well, I thought you were, like, wondering, you know, what kind of DLC.
Better question. Has Lady Dimitrescu had plastic surgery? Because that ass is beyond belief! What? It's a more worthwhile question. Here's another question. Will you allow for a sub mode where we can swat Lady Dimitrescu's ass because people are modding it so much? Just watch the point where Kurt Russell starts slapping shit out of Billy Bob Thornton. Well, if I want to see people slap the shit out of Billy Bob Thornton, I'll just go watch Bandits again. Which I still like. I know a lot of people don't, but I like it. This is how that journalist should have been fired. Out of a cannon? Nah, that's a waste of gunpowder.
They're not worth shooting out of a cannon.
Although if you treat them like Guybrush Threepwood, it might be actually very hilarious. That's another game that I need to go work on now. Psychonauts 2 has a release date. So now I have to figure out when to play Psychonauts 1. It's like the one Tim Schafer game I've never played. Mainly because I didn't have an Xbox at the time it came out. That saved me. I keep getting stuck on a tentacle. What the hell is going on?
Where do they find these bums from?
Insert college campus here. I'm not even kidding when I've actually considered whether or not trade schools should start teaching how to be a nurse or how to be a doctor, because I just don't see anything worthwhile coming out of colleges these days. I know. I promise, I'm not trying to make you pee your pants.
I know.
Whoa! Okay, that's a new attack. It's going to eventually get to a point where college is going to be counted against you. Yeah, no, it already is there. It also just depends on how you apply to the job, because I've seen a lot of employers like here that have dropped looking on places like LinkedIn. They don't look on LinkedIn anymore for employees. Instead, there's a new site. I can't remember what it's called, but basically, it just kind of does a background check as to, not necessarily into your qualifications, but it does a background check into your social media, and it just says, okay, well, if you've preached social justice in any way, shape, or form, then we don't want to hire you. Because it's gotten to a point where these so-called warriors they're just not viable employees. It's not worth somebody like Andrea training a new nurse employee fresh out of college.
They already have trade schools for nurses.
Oh, do they? Okay, for a doctor? For a lawyer? Well, I know they got one for a lawyer. But doctors not yet. They really do need one. Because people especially if you can do it for cheaper than college. I mean, Andrea is one of those few people that can actually say, like, she doesn't have piles and piles of student loan debt. Because you're a newfangled, you're one of those newfangled thinkers, Andrea, where you paid out of pocket.
Mm-hmm.
So you worked your butt off on a given summer, and you earned the money.
Mm-hmm.
And then you went to college, and you made sure that your money was well spent.
Mm-hmm. In a career that was worth it.
Uh-huh. So you have no debt to speak of. Which means, like, you going into this career is actually more worthwhile
Doctor's not yet.
Yep. I read that one, so they'll be coming soon enough. They'll be coming soon enough, and that way people can stop having $30,000 to $40,000 of debt. Which means they can stop bitching about it on Twitter. Journalists need a new hiring process. Yes. You also need new management for the newspapers as well as for the... Well, the websites don't necessarily have this issue, but I want to see the actual owners of the website basically do what happened to Kotaku. Like, if you're going to write about video game journalism, then you write about video game journalism. You don't just sit there and write about whatever social justice bullshit you want to write about that given day, because that's not what you're getting paid for. You're not getting paid for whether or not whiteness is a thing in the video game industry. You're not getting paid for that. Get sued into oblivion by Hulk Hogan? Yeah, well, that'll do it. Did it for Gawker. But can you really say it was Hulk Hogan that sued them? Because we know he got money from Vince. So technically, couldn't you say that Vince McMahon sued Gawker? I just don't see how good old Terry gets that credit. Okay. Whoa! Oh, okay. Oh, shit! That's a lot! Hogan was just the final nail in the coffin. Yeah, probably. Holy crap, how do you dodge all that? That's a thing. I guess I'd just have to constantly be running. Holy crap. I think Andrea's handling some stuff with the kids, so it's going to be just us for a little bit. But yeah, final thoughts on E3, mixed bag. It was bad. But if anybody wants to tell me that a games journalist is a worthwhile profession, I'm going to look them in the eye and say, hell no. Go get something. Go get some skills at a trade school first. And that's coming from a guy who really feels like his degree is kind of wasted. Like, I get to do podcasting, and that's great, but am I earning money because of my radio production degree, which technically I don't have? Because I didn't want to take my college's bitchy classes. It was more Nintendo. Saves E3 once again. I want to say, like, was it them that saved it last year? I don't think it was. I think it might have been Sony that saved it last year. But yeah, that's technically what happens, is like there's only been 1 year in the past 5 to 10 where Xbox has done it, in my opinion. Most of the time it's Nintendo or Sony that does it. Because everybody else is a bunch of pansy asses. Which is why Nintendo earns my money instead of insert company like EA here. Also, and get ready, people, on Friday, because it's going to be probably a very big trailer roundup. Just getting some of the bigger trailers out of the way that I know both me and Romney and Alex are excited for. Not both, all of us are excited for. And we're even going to take on some of the Netflix anime stuff that we wanted to talk about last week, but we couldn't. Games journalist died out as a profession once PewDiePie became a thing. Yeah, this is kind of true. Like, I usually go to a favorite streamer or anything like that if I want to see their reactions to game trailers, or in the case of, like, Maximilian Dude, for reactions to gameplay for a new character that has been announced in King of Fighters or something like that. I hate to say it, but you're right, RPX. Like, I love getting this comparison. Like, you call yourself a journalist because I just so happen to have talked about games on previous videos. No, because to me, journalist is a dirty word, and there's no such thing as a competent journalist in the past years. Like, I know a lot of people go like, "Well, Cronkite." No, I've learned some shit about Cronkite that even make me think that he wasn't a credible journalist. So, journalism, aside from maybe a few exceptions that have lasted throughout the years, by majority, isn't. Like, what mainstream media calls journalism, I call the other side of talk radio. All right, it's not informative, it's opinion. And that's fine. We can do opinion stuff, but games journalist is basically a horse buggy while streamers are the car. That's close to that's a good comparison. Another one that I would make is that games journalists are basically the modern equivalent of the snake oil salesman. Again, few exceptions, but they're very few. Ow!
Body slam.
It was super effective. Oh, his head is a completely different target. I didn't know that. They have to at least put in work.
Snake.
They're right up there. Snake oil salesmen are more respectable. They're right up there with drug dealers. Okay, I like that. Because at least you applaud a snake oil salesman for being able to sell something.
Mm-hmm.
They're right up there with drug dealers. They have to at least put in work. Oh yeah, no, you know what? That's all right. And I'm sure I'm going to get somebody in the comments section like, but don't you consider yourself... No, I don't consider myself a games journalist. I'm not. Journalist at this point is a dirty word. It really is. It's right up there with a lot of the other words that we can mention.
Well, I'm sure, like,
that would get us banned on YouTube.
Journalism, they need to have their social media review. Or they would be considered, like, part of,
Well,
writing.
a twisted thought just get... If RPX came to me for game news, he'd be so screwed. Because I might not even cover all the games that he wants.
Just to be fair.
Yeah. But no, the example that he was giving is like everybody goes to PewDiePie now. Like they don't trust games journalists. They go to their favorite streamer to see what they think about the latest Fortnite update or things like that. And no, that's pretty much right.
Well, yeah, because they're the ones who are... gamers are playing the game, and whereas journalists are just making assumptions, probably because they probably never played it.
Or they have a very loose understanding of how the game works. I would almost dare say that aside from maybe Maximilian Dude, and I would say that he probably is a fighting game journalist, there is no such thing.
Or they're very biased about certain aspects towards that game.
Yeah, like the IGN journalist is the person that you'd be going to about proper representation. No one covers the games I like. I'm sorry, man! I mean, I'll probably cover Metroid. Because Metroid Dread I'm actually really excited for.
Well, just curious, RPX, what kind of if Drak were to cover a game that you would want,
I know RPX plays a lot of indie games.
Yeah.
So, like, RPX has kind of been on the indie bandwagon longer than I have. I've played indie games, but I kept a lot of things in balance for a while, and it's only recently that I'm just like, it's all good. I like a ton of indie games. Yeah. And one of the things that might change this summer is...
It's all good. I like a ton of indie games, yeah.
I just barely said that. A lot of my indie game coverage has been mainly on consoles because I didn't really have to worry about whether or not my PC could handle things. But now that I've got a pretty decent card, I'm kind of tempted to look into those PC-only indie games that I haven't played yet. Especially now that I've kind of got a setup where I can still play the game on the couch. I found you guys streaming an indie game on Oh, yeah, that's right. I was streaming Axiom Verge. Because I hadn't finished it. And I'm so glad I did. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in Thomas Happ. Because we didn't get a release date. It's like, damn it, Thomas. Well, I got eaten. Axiom Verge 2 is on the way, but I really would have loved a release date. At least some kind of a speculation. Like, is it going to come out this year? Or is it, like... Because I get it. It's just him. But it looks like he's really far along. And so I really want Axiom Verge 2 in my hands. But there are so many other games I want in my hands that still haven't come out yet. The Last Faith, Bushiden, I think is what it's called. It's basically a Strider clone. And there's another game that's basically like a Chrono Trigger knockoff, and I want to play that because I love me some Chrono Trigger. Except you weren't there for Axiom Verge. So he didn't meet you until probably I think the first time that you had met Andrea was probably The Last of Us. That's when the Klondike bar thing became a thing.
Oh, yes.
By the way, speaking of, so they started having Klondike bars at our local Walmart again. Except they got the weirdest ass flavors.
Really?
Yeah, so like one of them's cotton candy. Like, they don't have the flavors I know that exist with Klondike bars. And it's driving me absolutely bonkers.
Sweet, sweet Klondike bars.
Yeah, the closest that we have is, like, because you can get Snickers bars and things like that. And those are probably flavors that we care about. Although I love the fact that they started coming out with Reese's Peanut Butter Cup ice cream bars.
Oh,
I'm guessing it's like peanut butter ice cream.
Well, that would be interesting to try.
I'm a little tempted.
Great, now you're talking about that. Now I want ice cream.
I want to slurp it. That's just because my mouth hurts.
Who wants a Slurpee when you can have ice cream?
If you had a gun to my head and you asked me if I wanted a Slurpee or an ice cream, I might defy expectations and go for a Slurpee. And I have a therapeutic reason for it. I actually do. Because when I had a therapist introduce the concept of ice cream therapy to me, I'm like, but I'm not a big ice cream fan. He's like, okay, well then what are you a fan of? Slurpees.
Run away!
Yeah. I think he's stuck. Okay, is this where you're gonna do the multiple torpedoes? Oh, he is stuck.
Okay.
Like, I almost don't want to get him unstuck.
Well, you're gonna have to
Oh,
attack.
no, he's still stuck.
Well, try and hit him in the head.
Oh. Ow, 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 ow!
Oh, come on. How can you dodge that?
There's like 3 barrages of him. Let's see, sweet Klondike bars. Depends on the mood at the time. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I like Slurpees. Like, I've loved Slurpees ever since I was a kid. Like, when they used to have, like, snow cone stands. I love that. It's nothing against ice cream. I have points where I'm in an ice cream kind of mood, but you're never going to get me off Slurpees. It's just not going to happen. I was really tempted on getting one on the way home. Like, can I justify going to the gas station just for a Slurpee?
That never stopped you before.
Oh, well, tonight it did, because I was running late from getting our dinner, so... That kind of stopped me. Smoothies are a combo of milkshake and Slurpee. They are! And I've actually started to become a smoothie fan. I wasn't as a kid, but now I'm starting to enjoy them. Great, now we need to go to Jamba Juice at some point. Okay. Dead.
Wow, we got 5 minutes left.
Okay, I got one more in me, and then that's gonna be
Alright.
it. Oh, we had another beat our head against a wall night. This happens a lot with Souls games.
That nice in between spoit.
Mm-hmm. Milkshakes are good too. See, more than ice cream, I love malts. It's the same damn thing, but I love those.
Oh, spots.
There we go. So while we're making our way there, so here's the plan for tomorrow. At 2 o'clock Eastern, we will be streaming Ratchet and Clank, so you guys can join us for that. We'll probably be going for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. And then we will be done. And Thursday, I'm hoping to start as early as 9 o'clock Eastern. I'm not sure if that's going to work out, but we're going to try. A lot of that just depends on when Andrea gets home so that the kids are taken care of. But right now the plan is to do 2 games. Because right now it seems like the poll I put up on the Discord is you guys are okay with that. So we're going to do a little bit of work and we're going to do a little bit of play. And I already know what my play is going to be, and you guys Oh my god! Oh, that sucks. Other good indie games to check out, Hardcore Mecha. I think I saw that. Was that at E3? I think I saw something like that was mecha related. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm also trying. I thought I saw Super Robot Wars on Switch, but I guess it's on PS4 because I can't find it. Okay, well, let's head back to the Hunter's Dream. So, unfortunately, Drakborn has failed tonight in killing more bosses, but at least we got a couple of good attempts in. Yes, Super Robot Wars is on Switch. Okay, I'll go look for it again and see if I can find it. I swear I found it, and now I couldn't find it again. But thank you guys so much for joining us. So, once again, you guys can join us at 4 o'clock Eastern for Ratchet and Clank tomorrow. And then also on Thursday night, I will be doing a stream basically covering, I'm going to try and do 2 games. So we're going to do a little bit of work and a little bit of play. And that's the only hints you get. And then we also will have the podcast on Friday, basically wrapping up E3 and going over some trailers so you guys can enjoy that. Or the Europe eShop. Okay. Oh, check Play Asia. I'll check there too. In the meantime, have a good night, everybody, and take care.
Good night.
Oh, actually...